guys, Julia here from JM Squared Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with an honestly pretty enormous bins haul. So my sister-in-law and niece were out for the past week, and my sister-in-law graciously agreed to join me at the bins. So we had a good time. We were there for a couple of hours. To be totally honest, we completely forgot that it was spring break week, so it was packed. I mean, it got to the point where we couldn't even get into a bin pretty quickly, like within an hour. So on any other week, we probably would have had to break this into 2 different videos, but I want to say we have about 50 items total. And there are a few pieces that we got for my niece and for her. So those are already like on their way back home, but we are going to go through her finds first and then mine. And honestly, we got some really good stuff. We got some good bread and butter. We got some interesting things, but like lots and lots and lots to talk about. But before we get started here, guys, if this is your first time here, if this is your first time stumbling on my channel, first and foremost, welcome. I am Julia. That is my name. We talk all things thrifting and vintage and the business of reselling on the internet here. If that sounds like something that you might be into, consider hitting subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. But without further ado, guys, we've got a lot of stuff to get through. I've got 2 big old IKEA bags here ready to be gone through. So why don't you go grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink. You know I've got my matcha latte. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the goods. So again, we're starting off with, I believe, most of the stuff that she picked up. This is like one of the first things that she found. This is a cute little throw blanket from Anthropology. And I did find the name of this. It's like the Jarfa or something like that. I'll put it down below. But they retail about $100 and they resell on the resale market between $40 and $60 depending on color and whatnot. So it's in perfect condition. So definitely a good find. 100% cotton. I think this is more meant to be like a kind of a decorative throw that you put at like the bottom of a bed, something like that. But either way, good eyes on her part, because this is, again, just like flawless condition. And I think it's fairly new. I want to say that they still have a version of this like in store. Next up, she got this pretty 100% cashmere turtleneck. This is from Charter Club, Cashmere by Charter Club. I think this might be one of their newer tags. The other tags I've seen are all woven. This is actually printed on, but it's their 2-ply cashmere, which is what they do. Size medium, perfect condition. And again, I'll pick up cashmere all year long. Like cashmere sells in the dead of August. Don't leave it behind, especially if you're getting this at like bins prices. For the most part, for any cashmere sweater, you're gonna be getting at the absolute lowest end, like $25, more commonly 30 to 40, and then 40 and up for higher end brands. So great little find there. Such a pretty color. Next up, she grabbed this cute little Zara shacket. This is like a very lightweight jacket, and it's Zara men's. So it's kind of like, I mean, it's woven like a denim, so it's almost like a lightweight denim in this kind of like gray green color, but just something like really light and easy to throw on over whatever. And it's a size medium in great condition. Zara men's pieces do sell fairly well for me. In general, I like to pick up the Zara men's pieces that have like a bold print or like an interesting embroidery to them. They tend to sell the best for me. But something like this that's just such a great like everyday piece, that should have no problem moving. I'll probably see like 20 to 25 on that. Next up, she picked up this great little Free People Intimately bodysuit. It's a size large and it's got this cute ruffle neck, very wide, low neckline. And again, the same echoed on the back, like a nice low scoop. And it's got a full back. It definitely has like a cotton feel to it. Like it's got like a little bit of stretch to it, but not a ton. If you're seeing it, this looks like a gauze, you know, so nice little piece. I'm not quite sure what I'll get for it. Probably somewhere in the $20 to $25 range, maybe a little bit more. I've never had a bodysuit like this from Free People. I've had quite a few, but I've never seen one quite like this. So I think it's super cute, and it's a good size too. Usually I find these bodysuits and they're like a small or an extra small. Next up, she grabbed this Polo Ralph Lauren polo shirt, but it's the big pony style. And I know that these are more in demand than the small pony. I need to do a little bit more research on this. I think that this is vintage just looking at the label here, but it's got a 3 on the sleeve. It's got the big pony, and it's like a multicolored big pony. I feel like most of the big ponies that I see are a solid color. They're just bigger size. So I'll do a little bit more research about this, you know, just kind of off the top of my head, probably somewhere 20 to 25 for this. So let me know, do you do polo? I know that there's a lot of people for whom like polo pieces are kind of like the cornerstone of what they sell. So if any of you guys out there are really well versed in polo, let me know what you know about this, and let me know if like big pony is something that we should be looking out for or leaving behind, etc. I'm just dipping my toes in here. Next up, she got this most amazing dress. This is another Free People piece. This is Free People Intimately, and it's got this like mesh strap situation here, and then these really cool, see, I mean, this is so shimmery. Like, let me get you up close so you can see what they look like. They're like, the hole is at the top and they kind of dangle down. This is something that somebody will wear to like a party or a club or like a rave or whatever. Pretty little piece. I'll probably see like 30 bucks on this, somewhere like 28 to 35. And I think if this was in like flawless condition, probably closer like 40 to 45, just because of what it is. But isn't that fun? Like, wouldn't you love to wear this to a club or like a concert or something like that? Oh, and it is a size small. And it is that like nice kind of like light petal pink color as well. So I'll make sure to use those kind of current keywords for the color trend that is happening right now. Next up, oh my gosh, so she found 2 vintage skirts and we ended up leaving one behind, but we brought this one home for sure. And it's this beautiful like orange. It's worsted wool. The brand on this is Garland, and Mellow Spun is I think the name of the actual yarn, but it's like pencil style. It's got a little kick pleat in the back. This is in absolutely flawless vintage condition. Like, going by some of the clues, I think that this is probably like late 60s, early 70s. And again, in like flawless condition. This looks to be probably about a size 6 or 8. Man, that color is showing up a lot lighter on camera than it is in real life. This is kind of like a pumpkin orange. It's really pretty. I'll probably see something like that somewhere probably $30 to $40 roundabout. And I have no doubt that'll go relatively quickly. Like, it's like a good basic vintage piece in a really unusual color. And though that kind of combination does well for me. Next up, she found this really cute vintage Ralph Lauren skirt. This is such an interesting skirt. Okay, so it's just like a black wool. Again, worsted wool, but look at the front there. So first of all, this closure right here creates the pockets, right? So there's the pockets. It's fully lined, and if you need to cinch it in, there's 2 sets of buttons on the inside of this, right? So it's fastened here. You can close it into here, and then on the back, you've got this little like lace-up detail. It's so interesting. This is definitely vintage Lauren, and it's made in the US, and it's got a pretty high slit in the back. So I know that there's a lot of people, it's a size 12 petite, which is interesting. So this is kind of like a midi length skirt. I know, again, there's a lot of people that do a lot of Ralph Lauren stuff, and I know that vintage Lauren pieces that are made in the US can sell quite well. So I have to do a little bit more research on it. But if this is something that you have a deep well of knowledge on, let us all know what we should be looking for, because this is like beautifully made. These are the kind of things that like shouldn't be going into the waste stream. So if there's anything in particular we should be keeping our eyes out for, let us know. Next up, she found this dress from J. Crew. So this is like the J. Crew collection, not J. Crew outlet, and it is a crepe wrap dress. This looks like something that can be like a perfect little black dress, right? It's office appropriate. You can wear it to an event, you can dress it up, dress it down, but it's a size 10 in like perfect condition. It's got kind of like a little bit of a blouson sleeve. Again, full wrap silhouette with like a slight A-line skirt. Obviously something I'm gonna have to photograph on the mannequin because wrap dresses are notoriously hard to photograph, but this I wanna say retailed like $187, and on the resale market, I'm seeing this dress in particular selling between like $30 and $50. So somewhere in that range. It's definitely, again, a great closet staple, and this is something that, despite the fact that it's black and relatively plain, it's got a lot of things I can keyword it with, from both uses, so I can, wear to work, wedding guest dress, little black dress, cocktail dress, whatever. The fact that it's a wrap dress, the fact that it's crepe, the fact that it's got little blouson sleeves, all of the above. I can use all of these things as keywords. That was a good find. She got another cashmere sweater, another Charter Club cashmere sweater in particular. This is just like a black V-neck, medium as well, 2-ply cashmere, just a very simple, classic black cashmere sweater. Do not be leaving these behind, guys, even in August when you find them. If you're finding them for a couple bucks, my God, please please pick them up. And make sure that when you do pick up a cashmere sweater, like my tip, you obviously want to check for like moth holes because moths love cashmere. PSA, get the cedar things to put in with your knitwear. Like please, they are very inexpensive. You can get them from Amazon. I've always got them linked down below, but like if you do not have a cedar closet, please get some cedar things to put in with your knitwear because these pieces are just so vulnerable to moths. But if you're ever outsourcing and you see one, the easiest way to do it is hold it up to a light or hold it up to a window. Like I'm holding it up to a window right now. You'll be able to spot even a small moth hole in seconds. So save yourself the trouble, save yourself the stress of finding a moth hole once you've gotten home. But this is in pretty flawless condition. Again, probably somewhere $30 to $40 on this. Oh my God. Okay, this piece, I feel like she was absorbing my love of weird vintage things. And she found this incredible vintage, nautical, whimsical sweater. Like, first of all, come on. So these are all little flag symbols. So this one says, you know, break sign, attention sign, answering sign, SOS. And they're just like little pieces. This is so ridiculous. Like, where do you find something like this? The label on this says Gymless. It's made in Taiwan. It's a size small. I mean, it's acrylic, but who cares? Because again, like where else are you finding something like this? So this, on top of having like that little bit of vintage whimsy, I can really lean into like the nautical prep thing that's happening this summer. I wouldn't doubt that I'll probably get somewhere like $30 to $40 on this just because of what it is. And again, like find another. It's in pretty great shape, but yeah. Absolutely ridiculous. And it's plain on the back, but it's got a cute little pocket on the sleeve too with another little sailor. What? Like I would love to be back at the time when that was being sold like new. Like what goes through your head when you're walking through Macy's in 1965 and you see something like this? Like I need to know. I need to know. And next up, this is her last thing. Again, there were a couple things that she grabbed for her. I think this is her last thing. There might be one or two more mixed into the bags. And when and if they come up, I will note that. But what a thing to end on. She found this adorable little Burberry dress. It's super cute, little knit. It's really like a heavyweight knit. And this is, I think they call this their Nova Check, their kind of iconic plaid. And it's Burberry London, size 90, which I believe UK sizing, this is like a size 2T. It's super cute and it's in pretty great condition. Burberry kids clothes sell for like $400. Like their dresses are $400 or $500. And on the resale market, you'll get between like $50 and $150 depending on which dress they are. I had one just recently that sold that I think went for like $80 or $90. So I have to do a little bit of research into what this dress in particular is, what the, you know, sold comps are, but I'm just kind of generalizing based on other Burberry like baby clothes that I've seen in the past. But I mean, hello, talk about something always exciting to find in the bins. I mean, it's just such an iconic thing that it is always in style. I can't remember a time, at least in my lifetime of being aware of fashion, that Burberry wasn't like a really desirable brand. And like it's had peaks and valleys of where it was like more mass popular, but it's one of those brands that's never like dipped down to the point where it's considered like tacky. You know what I'm saying? Like Burberry is just kind of a nice level, always in demand, and then has moments where it's like crazy in demand. All right, now onto my stuff. One of the first things I found here is this little Baltic born top. It's brand new with tags. It's size 2X, yeah, 2XL. It's just a nice like breezy, boxy button-down shirt. Now, I've never had a Baltic born shirt. I've only seen their dresses. So if you've had experience with it, let me know. This is called the Romy button top. And it's, again, brand new with tags, black. Obviously, I'll steam this out, make it look, you know, like it's fresh out of the package, but sold comps on this are between like $25 and $35. So great little bread and butter. I know Baltic Born is a brand that sells really well. Like anytime I've ever had a Baltic Born dress, it's sold really, really quickly. So I'm interested to see how the shirt does, but I do know it's a brand that people love. Next up, I found this cute linen midi skirt. And I mean, it's like a linen midi skirt, so I'm gonna pick it up no matter what. It's this kind of like khaki olive green. It's got a little bit of a flare. It didn't have a tag on it at first. All it had was the size, was size medium. And I don't really care because like I'm gonna pick up linen whether it has a tag or not. It's got cute little pockets. So like the construction on this is pretty nice. And when I got it home, I went looking for, you know, like the contents tag on the inside, and sure enough, this is from Muji. And that's MUJI. That is a Japanese store that's kind of like a, I don't don't know how to describe Muji because they have a little bit of clothing, but a lot of their stuff they have a lot of like paper goods, they have a lot of like housewares. It's not like a Target because everything is Muji branded. I like Muji stuff. I have a couple pieces of Muji that I got when I was in Japan, and the last time I was coming back from Southeast Asia just this past fall, and in Changi Airport in Singapore, there is a Muji in the Jewel, that like massive mall that they have attached to the airport there. And I love their they have a diffuser that smells like kind of like fresh cut grass. It's like one of my favorite smells in the whole world. Apparently that's a generational thing. So let me know if you are about my age and you like the smell of fresh cut grass, because apparently our generation, it's fresh cut grass and gasoline. So it's fascinating. So the funny thing is, in Changi Airport, you don't go through security until you're basically at your gate. So I bought a couple bottles of this diffuser. I'm like, when's the next time I'm gonna have access to a Muji? So I bought a little one and I bought a big one that was like a refill, and they confiscated it at the gate. So just a pro tip, if you are flying through Singapore and you got a nice long layover where you can go shopping in the Jewel, don't buy anything liquid, because they will take that away from you. They will take that away from you. Like, it was 10 minutes after I bought it. I was so pissed. I was so mad. I was so mad. Anyway, Muji, again, not a super expensive store, really good quality stuff. Everything is Muji branded. So for something like this, I'll probably get $20 to $25, and probably more based on style than anything, but definitely something to look for if you've ever found like a linen piece that doesn't have a label. Like, look to see if it has Muji tags on the inside, because I think their linen is lovely. I think the skirt is lovely. I wish that was my size. And in black, like, of course. Got this another adorable little vintage skirt. This one I think is polyester. It feels like kind of a tweed. It's bias cut, so it's got like some nice give to it. I just love this waist with the little bow here. Just a little zip back, A-line, ever so slightly flared out. The designer on this is Odds and Evens. I'm gonna guess this is late 70s, early 80s here, but it's in great shape. It's a size 7, so this is juniors, and I'll just have to get measurements on this. So it'll probably fit like a US size 6, but probably somewhere $20 to $25 on this. I just thought it was really, really cute. You know, I was seeing girls walking around this fall in LA wearing stuff like this. So go figure. I just thought that was really cute and in fantastic condition. Next up, we've got another little linen piece. This is kind of like a long tunic. There's only the one tag. It says made in Italy, but there's no like brand label on it, but it's 100% linen. And it's this like interesting cream color. I don't think you're able to see much of the dimension here. There's a little bit of like, it almost looks like the faintest tie-dye. So the bottom's kind of like a shark bite hem there. You see what I'm talking about? That's a shark bite hem, by the way, where it's long on the sides and short in the middle. But the thing is, it's got these really tall side vents that go up to like just under the sleeves. So it's an interesting piece, just like a tunic that is meant to be worn over something, or like this could be a great swim cover-up. So I'll be sure to be double dipping on the keywords with this, but again, you cannot show me a linen piece and expect for me to leave it behind. I'll probably get somewhere 25 to 32 on this. Super, super cute. Unusual piece too. Next up, this was an interesting piece, and in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have picked this up, but we'll get into it. So this is a robe, and first of all, the cotton felt really nice, and then I looked at the print, and the print looked really, I don't know how to explain it, but this looks like artist done, right? Like, this doesn't look like a stock print you picked from a book or from, you know, a computer program. The brand on this is Vivante by VSA, and for sure, keep your eyes out for the brand because it's pretty expensive, and they have a lot of like robes, some shirts and stuff like that. Pretty spendy. They do well on the resale market. The shame of it is, I was looking around, I'm like, does this have belt loops? You know, like, cause there's no belt with it. I'm like looking around and I didn't see any belt loops. And when I got home, there they are. But that being said, I have sold several robes without the belt over time, like not necessarily like a cheapie. Like if this was a Victoria's Secret like polyester robe, I probably would just donate it right back. But I have sold a couple like higher end robes like this without the belt. So we'll give it a try. I'm not quite sure what I would get for it. It looks like sold comps. I couldn't find this specific robe, but it looks like similar lightweight cotton robes from them go between like $30 and $40. So definitely a brand to keep keep your eye out for. Let me know if you're familiar with it. I'd never heard of it before. Again, I just picked this up because the cotton felt really nice. The construction was really nice and the print was really interesting. So bummer that I did not see those belt loops because I probably would have left it behind, but hopefully it does move regardless because I've seen it happen before. Stranger things have happened. Next up, I got this dress because I thought it was super, super cute. So this is from a brand called The Fifth Label, and it looks to be kind of like maybe a higher end boutique brand, sold comps. They're kind of in that bread and butter territory. I just thought this dress was really cute, pure style pickup. First of all, I love how the straps are attached. That's front and back there. It's got V-neck, it's got a handkerchief hem. It's just something, again, like an easy to throw on trapeze dress. Like both me and my sister-in-law were like, yeah, that's super, super cute. I've never heard of the brand before. It's an interesting fabric in that it's kind of non-stretch, but it almost has a little bit of a twill look to it. Can you see that texture? Got that feel to it, and it is in the weave. So I don't know, very, very interesting. Let me know if you're familiar with this brand. I'll probably see $20 to $25 on this. This is also a size extra small, which just having it listed as a size extra small will slow it down, but I think that this could easily fit up to like a size medium, maybe even a large. It's kind of an oversized fit, so we will find out, but I just thought that this was so cute. Truly, like truly a style pickup there. Next up, I grabbed this for my mom. I had a soft surrounding sweater that she really liked a year or two ago, and it was like a size extra small, so it wouldn't have fit her, but I found this cute little top that is very much in the same vein as that was, and it's her size, so I thought I would grab it for her. So it's just like a little cotton jersey with a gray and white stripe with these kind of interesting button detail. It's got a collared neckline, it's long sleeve, but I love, like, look at that hemline. Do you see how that's done? Just so unusual. This is the stuff I love about soft surroundings, and it makes me sad that their pieces are slowing down because these are the kind of things that are just like, you know, it's a basic but elevated and interesting, right? She'll throw it on and it'll feel like a t-shirt. It'll be different and unique. So anyway, not for sale. If I were to sell this, this would probably be, I don't know, $20 to $28, but not gonna be for sale, so. Next up, this is a linen top. This is from a brand called H Brothers, which I had never heard of before. The interesting thing to me, first, I just liked the color. It's like a very light seafoam green. The linen itself feels really nice. That's the brand. Let me know if you're familiar. I couldn't find much about it at all, so we'll find out. The thing that's interesting to me is that it's size 2XL, and this does not at all look like a size 2XL to me. This looks like maybe a large to an extra large. So I'll have to get some measurements on it, but again, just like a great classic linen shirt for $1 or $2, like I'm gonna pick that up because linen just sells. Doesn't really matter the brand as long as it's in good condition. The better the quality of the linen, of course, the better, which this is really excellent quality linen, but you know, probably $20, $25 on this, but I really do need to like double check measurements because there's no world in which that is a 2XL. Next up, now this was kind of a wild find, and I didn't want to show my niece because she loves Taylor Swift, but these things go for a good price. This is one of the authentic release sweatshirts. This is from Midnight's, size medium, and it's got, you know, it's got the interior labeling and all of that. That's correct. So something like this, these resell between like $60 and $100 depending on what you've got. If you're finding one of like the cardigans, like one of the limited release cardigans that she does, you're looking at like $200, but really, for now, anything Taylor Swift, like authentic from the album releases, from the concerts, from the Eras Tour, whatever, there is still a huge market for them. So definitely a great find. It's got a little bit of like sunless tanner at the cuffs, so I'm gonna do a little OxyClean there, get that staining off, easy peasy, but yeah. Great little find. These are, you know, keep your eyes out for them. Feel comfortable paying up for that. And there's a couple artists today that you can kind of comfortably pay up for that. Billie Eilish is another one. Charlie XCX right now. Obviously Lady Gaga. Certain K-pop bands, Blackpink, but I think that's to like a lesser extent because that is an entire industry unto itself. But Taylor Swift, Charlie XCX, and of course like Coachella merch also. It's that whole like being there culture. Definitely something to be keeping your eyes out for. If you're not usually going through the sweatshirts in a thrift store, like just do a quick little buzz through. You never know what you're gonna find. Next up, these are a pair of men's pants, and I picked them up because they felt so nice. and there was like no branding in them, right? So I saw these tags, and like tags are telling me that they are Euro of some sort. Again, like the tagging tells me it's high quality. And it wasn't for a little bit. Like I was looking at the button, and the button says Hosen van Besten, which I didn't know what I was looking at. I don't know if you can read that there. So that's what I was looking at. And then I saw that on the inside of the fly. This is like the only branding. And the brand on this is Hiltl, Hiltl. Very expensive German brand. These retail like $180 to $200. In case you didn't get your eyes on that. Check this brand out on the secondhand market because the quality is unbelievable. So if you're able to get something like this for $30, $35, like that's a steal of a deal. Again, quality is so, so nice. Usually I think they have a little bit more branding. I think this was like an anniversary edition that they did, but yeah, I was gonna pick that up no matter what because they felt so nice. All right, next up, this was an interesting one. So this I picked up because it felt so nice, and as you can see, this kind of looks almost like a little bit acid washed. This is like a heavy duty French terry, and this is the back, right? Like this is like an open front cardigan that has a little bit of a cascade collar there, and in the back, just see if I can show you some detail. So it flares out a bit, and then there's like it's kind of like flap here, and it ends in like an uneven hemline there. This is from a brand called Testimony, which I'd never heard of. Again, I picked this up because the fabric felt really nice. And as it turns out, I think this is like a really high-end boutique brand. I found a couple shops that sell this. This is an intentionally like Victorian style, intentionally like Victorian looking cardigan while being, you know, obviously very comfortable. Again, it's that French terry. And they retail like $180. So they are not cheap. And on the resale market, I'm seeing a lot of these resold between like $45 and $60. So I'm interested to see how this does. Let me know if you are familiar with this brand at all. Because again, I had never heard of them. I just picked it up because I thought it felt really nice. And this is something that I can use. Obviously, this is like boho and bohemian and all of those, but it's also got a little bit of like steampunk vibe to it. Like this is something that I could see like, you know, somebody who is into steampunk or cosplaying steampunk, they go to conventions, whatever, like that's a whole world, or they go to, you know, Ren fairs and that's their thing. This is like their everyday wear. You know, like this is something where you can really kind of pull that style into your like daily wear without being in a costume. Anyway, very interested to hear if anybody else has had experience with this brand or knows it or loves it or wears it. But yeah, super impressed with the quality of it and interested to see how it goes. This is a perfect example of like, if you are digging through a bin and you feel something that feels nice, it doesn't look familiar, it's not a label you recognize, you're not quite sure even what you're looking at, just throw it in your bag or throw it in your basket and bring it back to the side. You can always throw it back in the bin if it's nothing that you want, but this is exactly what I did. Like I pulled that out, I'm like, I don't even know what this is. I thought it was a blanket for a second. And when I got it back, I like saw it for what it was and I'm like, oh, this is a great find. But if you're just kind of going very specifically for brands, you're very specifically going for X, Y, and Z, like you might've left that behind. So let that be a lesson to all of us, like myself included. Next up, I found a little pair of Bird Dogs. I think these are their athletic shorts. Bird Dogs is one of those brands that resells really, really well. If you can find the pants, it's usually like 40 to 60 bucks, depending on what you have. This is the logo that you're looking for right there. On this pair, they're in like the middle of the back of the leg. You can also, like, this is kind of how I found these. They had that like boomstick logo and that really bright inner lining. They're size large. They're in like perfect condition. And I should see like somewhere between like 28 and 35 on these. And no doubt they'll sell quick. Like every pair of Bird Dogs that I have ever found has sold super duper quickly. Next up, now this is an interesting one and probably a brand that not many of you will know and or will see. I think this is a very local maker here. This is from a designer called Bell and Day. I have found a couple pieces, but they make these kind of like boho inspired shirts. And I don't think that they do blanks. They always have this like really cool embellishment. Either they'll have really unique like tie-dye patterns or they'll have like big embroidered patches. Like this is all embroidery. One I had was like this turquoise sweatshirt with giant rainbow colored sequin wings on the back. Everything I've ever gotten from this brand, from this designer, I sold super quickly at a pretty great price, $35, $40 and up. Let me know if you've ever seen it. Like I said, I don't know how many people outside of this area will have ever seen it or will be familiar with for it, but if this is your vibe, keep your eyes out for it if it does pop up. I'm pretty sure that this sweatshirt, and I'm looking at it, this is all like hand cut and sewn. This isn't something where they like bought a blank and added embellishment to it. This, you can tell that this was all like hand cut and pieced together. Really cool silhouette. This is a size small and it's obviously very oversized. So I'll probably see around $40 for this. Always excited when I see it, but I do think, like I said, I would be really surprised if somebody has ever found a piece like this in like Wichita. You know, it's just hyper local and a very, very small brand. Next up, now this was an interesting one. This is from Everive, and this label is definitely a brand I want you to keep your eyes out for. I've had a couple pieces from Everive and they sell really, really quickly. This is an interesting thing in that it is a dress. So I'm not quite sure how fast this will sell. It's kind of like a blouson top with like a, almost like a bodycon fit skirt, and it's like black knit with a hood, no less. It is a size extra large, which is a great thing for an Everive piece, but Everive's super expensive. This probably retailed $150, $200. Something like this in particular, this dress, it's a little bit less like useful than some of the other pieces that I found. You know, it is a one-piece thing, kind of a specific one-piece thing. It's not like a sweatshirt. I think the first Everive piece I ever found was this like vivid hot pink shacket, but that's just like a finisher piece, right? You throw it on. This is a whole outfit. So we'll see. Probably somewhere 25 to 35 on this. So we'll see how this does, but let me know if you like Everive, if you find it a lot. I don't find it all that often. I've only found, I don't know, 5 or 6 pieces over time, but every single time I found it, it has sold quickly. So it's definitely a brand I keep my eye out for, especially in the bins. And it's something that like, if you're finding something that's like a really great style that I would be totally comfortable paying up for in like the regular thrift store. Next up, we have this fabulous little vintage express skirt. I wish you could feel this fabric. This is like a double layer gorget with this really pretty pattern. Just a little pencil skirt style slit in the back. It's in like flawless vintage condition. And this is one of the old labels. I want to say that's probably like late 90s, early 2000s. I'm gonna say probably late 90s just going on the look here. But again, like flawless condition, vintage express stuff does really, really well for me. And I love this. This feels very like minimalist the way that it's done. You see how it's kind of like a sheer layer on top of a slightly more opaque layer? It's like the kind of thing that if you're looking at it through the sun, you'll still see some light coming through. I wouldn't call this like semi-sheer because it's not like sheer, but you will get a little light coming through. It's really pretty. I'll probably see like 28 to 35 on this guy. I love the vintage express pieces. They just have to be interesting. Like my mom was out at the bins just the other day and she found a vintage express piece, but it was just like a little like white cardigan and we passed on it. And it's just because it's just too plain of a style, right? Like if it's like a basic from the vintage era, if it's not anything that you can really differentiate with style, then it's probably not worth picking up. You know, certainly not in like a thrift store pay up situation, but something like this all day. That looks like brand spanking new. Next up, now this is an interesting thing, and when I got it home and was really looking at it under the lights, it's something I might, I don't know, we'll see how this does. These are from Everlane. I love Everlane. These are some men's shorts in like a chambray linen, but as you can see, because these are being lit by an extremely bright light right there, there's a little bit more wear on these than I thought there was when I saw them in the bins. So this might get donated right back. They are a size 32. We'll find out, maybe like $15 on these. In great condition, these would probably go more towards like 25 or so, but I'm gonna do a little bit of research to see if it's even gonna be worth selling these. Next up, another great little bread and butter here. These are from Quince. So these are their Ponte pants. They're like black, kind of slim cut, not necessarily skinny leg, but slim cut ankle length trousers. They are a size small. I want to say that these retail like 45 maybe. So they resell between like 15 and 20. These are just good bread and butter things. I prefer finding like the Quince linen, stuff like that, but pretty much anything from them is going to sell fairly well. Stuff like this, you're not going to get a ton of money. This is absolutely positively not something that you pay up for at the regular thrift. This is something that if you're getting it for $1 or so at the bins, great, you will have enough meat on your bone. But definitely the linen, sure, The linen I would pay up for, maybe not like $10, but I would pay $5 for one of their linen dresses, but not stuff like this. So like I said, probably $15 to $20 on this. Next up, oh, this is something that I got for my friend's little son. This is about his size. This little Janie and Jack linen shirt. Just a little basic white linen shirt. It's got like little roll tabs for him. He loves to get dressed up. I mean, I bought him this adorable little vintage blazer a year or two ago, and it had like little elbow patches. He wore that thing everywhere. Makes my heart so happy. But anyway, these are like $60, $70. This is Janie and Jack, super expensive kids brand. This would resell probably like $15 to $20. But that being said, if this is a style that you like and you are looking to like outfit your kiddo, look on the secondhand market, because you can get Janie and Jack for a pretty great price. And the best thing about Janie and Jack, their stuff is made so well, like it's borderline heirloom quality. So like, number one, it's well made. They could wear it for however long they're like that size, which is, you know, we all know, 5 minutes. But because the styles are so classic and clean and like just kind of eternally in style, you can always resell them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you buy them on the secondhand market, chances are you can sell them a year from now on the secondhand market for probably about as much as you bought them for. So just, you know, so you can outfit them for their entire childhood essentially for free, which with everything going up in price as egregiously as it is right now, that's a nice little life hack, especially with kids being as expensive as they are, not counting their clothes. So not for sale. Next up, I found this cute dress. This is from Black Halo, which is a very expensive brand. And it's this really pretty, like kind of asymmetrical neckline, little cap sleeve, bodycon dress with this pretty like moody floral. Black Halo, again, this was probably $400 or $500 new, if not a little bit more. I think that this is a size 8, so it's got a little slit in the back, zip on the back. I'll probably see like $30, $40 on this. This is like a nice little cocktail dress, perfect wedding guest dress. Love the rose print, so definitely exciting brand to find in the bins, because again, those retail so high. Oh, this one is also from my sister-in-law, and she was so funny. She got set off. She was like, I could never do this just because this might happen. So this is a pajama top from Petite Plume. And I love Petite Plume. If you've been here a while, you know that I am a big time pajama snob. I love my Eberge, I love my Print Fresh. This is something that me and my best friend do for each other. We're constantly buying each other really fancy pajamas. It's like you're in them a third of your life. Like, please treat yourself to good pajamas. It is like the ultimate indulgence. And Petite Plume has a set, it's a Pima cotton jersey, and it's got wide sleeves. So they're like 3/4 length, but wide. And then the pants are wide leg. They cut at the ankle and they have slits up. They are, if you are somebody who like, I don't even know how to describe it. I absolutely live for them. Like, I want to wear those pants every day. They are so expensive. They sell them at like Saks Fifth Avenue. They sell them at, you know, on their own website. But if you are somebody who likes a very breezy, very unrestrictive pair of pajamas, but you want like a matching set, obviously Eberge is great. They're like a tencel, but if you really want cotton, check out the Petite Plume wide leg pajamas. They are mwah. I love them. But this is a flannel pajama top, and she literally tore the bins apart trying to find the other half. 100% cotton, navy blue flannel. I'll probably get like $20 for this. If I had the full set, it probably would have gone for about $40. But it's another brand to keep your eyes out for, especially if you can find a set of them. And again, just another brand to consider treating yourself with if and when you are ready for some new fresh pajamas. Cannot sing the praises of those wide leg pajamas enough. Like, oh, I love them. Next up, this was such an exciting thing to see, and then a little bit of a letdown, but also not a letdown. So this is a pair of shorts from Taylor Stitch, this is a brand you definitely want to keep your eyes out for. Their pants, I want to say, retail for like $150. They resell $50, $60. Like, super quick. Same thing with their shirts. I've never had anything from Taylor Stitch that has stuck around for more than like a week or two. But these are a pair of pants that somebody cut off. I'm going to assume that they blew out a knee. They don't make shorts with this panel. This is kind of like one of those reinforced knee panels. It's in like a cotton duck fabric, so it's kind of heavyweight. It's brown. These will sell just because they're Taylor Stitch. They're size 32. Like, they were cut by somebody who took the time to really cut them straight and like make sure that they're lined up. So I have no idea what I'll get for these, maybe 20 or 30 bucks, but nothing else. Make sure you have that label memorized, because if you see that, comfortably pay up for it. All right, we are getting there, guys. Okay, next up, now I saw this in the bins. Like that is what I saw sticking up, so I grabbed it. Anytime you see something like this, especially if it's kind of uneven, that tells you that this is a company that puts hidden buttons in between regular buttons to like prevent gapping, and that's generally a sign of high quality. The brand here is the shirt by Resell Barons. And this is a brand that is carried at Tuckernuck, which is obviously a brand you want to have on your radar. Tuckernuck pieces sell really well. I've sold a couple dresses, some that were like my own personal dresses, some that I had found while thrifting, while sourcing, and they sell, you know, 50, 60 bucks. So this is a 2XL, so there's like no other sold comps at this size. There are a bunch of sold comps for this shirt between like $40 and $60. Most of them are size like small, medium, and large. So I'm interested to see how the plus size does from them. I can imagine, especially with the bust buttons, because this is just like life-changing. If you are somebody, if you know what I'm talking about, if you are somebody who is working with like a larger bust, like this, life-changing. So I'm interested to see how this does. I'll give it a bath, I'll give it a steam, but definitely a brand to keep your eyes out for, as well as anything from Tuckernuck. Tuckernuck is like a high-end, kind of like a multi-brand store. It's got like the eponymous brand like Tuckernuck. It's also got Pomander Place and a couple other like sub-brands that are like their house brands, and then they also carry other high-end brands as well, like this. I don't think that this is one of their proprietary brands. I'm pretty sure that this is just a brand that they carry, but anything from Tuckernuck, I am going to keep my eyes out for. And for you guys, I would just get yourself signed up for the Tuckernuck email, spend a little time on their website, just familiarize yourself with the brands that they carry, because doing that kind of stuff is like a really great way to see what kind of brands are kind of on trend for that customer. Next up, this is a Lauren Moshi t-shirt. I haven't found one of these in a while. These were like all the rage for a while there. That is the label you're looking for. And the first one that I found was kind of a dated style. It was like a long line t-shirt with like a band on the bottom, and it's still sold for like $35. This is a little bit more of an in-demand style. It's got the lip, it's got the little kind of gold foil lipstick, it's size small V-neck. I'll probably see again $30, $35 on this, and I have no doubt that this will go pretty quickly. Lauren Moshi stuff still has a real devoted like following to it, so keep your eyes out for this label. I probably wouldn't pay like $15 for something like this, but if you're out, I would comfortably pay like $5 for a t-shirt like this if you see this in the regular racks. It's definitely a brand to keep your eyes out for. Next up, now this is from Joie, and this is a brand I've really slowed up on picking. It does sell pretty frequently in like TJ Maxx and Marshalls, and that does tend to devalue a brand quite a bit. But the reason I picked this up is because it is an extra large and it is a nice pink color. It's a nice boho cut. Look at those sleeves. I love that little bit of pin tucking detail where it blouses out right at the elbow. I think that's really flattering on any arm. And it's like a linen rayon blend. So it just has a lot about it that I really liked. Now, I'm not expecting to get like $50, $60 on this, but I will probably see somewhere 25 to 32 on it. And I have no doubt this will sell quickly. This just has a lot about it that I can keyword with. Super flattering cut too. Next up, I found the cutest little crochet crop top from Kate Spade. Look at how cute this is. First of all, the colors. I love this like watermelon, pink and green pastel. It's a size small linen cotton blend. And it's in fantastic condition. I just think that this is so cute. You go for like festival, for like boho, it's slightly cropped. It's just, for me, it's the colors. This feels so Palm Springs. And I know a million girls that would want to wear something like this. So I'll probably see somewhere 30 to 40 on this. This is the kind of thing that I would like comfortably pay up for. Kate Spade is not as in demand as it was before, but I don't think that this is a situation where the brand really matters. I think this is more of a, like, the color is right, the style is right, the crop is right, the shape is right. You know, who cares who it's made by? You know what I'm saying? Next up, now I felt this, I'm like, that's merino wool. Oh, that's a merino wool dress. This is so pretty. So this is from Ellie Tahari, and it's just a very simple, lightweight knit midi dress. It's navy blue. It's bodycon. It is midi length. It's got little slits at the bottom on both sides, so it'll give you a little bit of movement. It's in like perfect condition. I believe this is a size 8. I want to say that this was probably something that was through like a Rent the Runway or whatever. It's got one of those little, unless this was done for like dry cleaning, which I've learned that some dry cleaners do this. I would be furious if my dry cleaner bonded something to one of my garments, but it looks like when they did that, they use like a heat press. They also heat pressed the little label here that has the size information. So I had to do some like clever, you know, getting my hand over there, seeing if I could see some contrast. So it's a size 8, but it's otherwise in like brand new condition. Ellie Tahari, if you are familiar, I'm sure you're familiar with Tahari. Tahari's like a pretty big mass market brand. You'll see them in Macy's and Kohl's and stuff like that. So that's Tahari. And then you have Tea by Tahari, which I think is like in between Ellie Tahari, and then Ellie Tahari is like the high-end, like ready-to-wear line, right? So this probably retailed somewhere between $300 and $500. Very, very, very expensive. It's just like a very luxe basic. You know what I'm saying? Like a merino wool. Like it looks at first glance like a very simple navy blue column midi dress, but then, you know, you get a little bit closer, you figure out that it's like merino wool. Like it's just so luxe, so chic. Will never be out of style. So I'll probably see, I don't know, 50 or 60 bucks on this, maybe a little bit more. And I don't think that this will sit around for that long. Like this, while it is a basic, it's preppy, it's minimalist, it's luxury. It's also resort wear. Like this is something you can tag like vacation for. There's just a lot of different categories that this falls into. It's simple, but it's like deceivingly interesting, you know? Next up, I felt this and I'm like, oh, is that silk? Sure is. So this is a little dress that has a very interesting neckline there. And it's got a little bit of a peplum and then it's all the way down. It's sheer, like there's no underlaying. And then the skirt is maxi length and it flares out a little bit. And the brand on this is Stone Cold Fox, which is definitely a brand you want to keep your eyes out for. High end. They're sold at like Revolve. It's just so interesting. Definitely something I'm gonna wanna photograph like on the mannequin. What size is this? It's a size 2, so it'll actually look great on the mannequin. But it's something, this probably retailed like $400 or $500. So I'm not quite sure what I'll get for this. I haven't been able to find this specific dress. So I'll be interested to see how this does. Somewhere between, I don't know, $30 and $150, somewhere in that mix. Like I said, I'm just gonna have to do a little bit more detail, but it's such an interesting dress, right? But definitely a brand I want you to keep your eyes out for. Let me know if you've ever had experience with them, if you've ever found something from them, because this is the first time I've ever found anything from them and I was pretty excited to do so. We got 4 to go, and this, oh my god, okay. This is so adorable and whimsical. This I think is handmade, it's vintage. It's this adorable little heart print, and I will like swear that I had a pillow made of this fabric as a little girl, shaped like a heart, made of this little heart print. Mom, if you're watching, please confirm, because I'm sure if I had a pillow made of this fabric, you are the one who made it. But I'm pretty sure that this is handmade because there are no tags in this at all. It is definitively vintage and it's this cute little whimsical print. It's got a little ruffled bottom and it's a plus size. I want to say that this is probably about a size 14 or 16. I have no doubt that this will go quick. These kind of like whimsical print skirts, especially in plus sizes, sell so well for me. I love finding them from like ModCloth and Unique Vintage and that kind of store. But again, this is, I believe, vintage and I believe handmade. So I'll just have to make sure that I get measurements on it. But I will probably see somewhere $30 to $35 on this. And I have no doubt that this will sell super quick. Next up, okay, so this is an interesting one. I see Pistola denim and I leave it behind a lot. Of course, I don't really see more modern Pistola denim, but I've never really found one of their sweaters. And this is so nice. It's navy blue. It's that like slinky viscose knit. You probably know what I'm talking about, but it holds its shape really, really well. It doesn't necessarily like stretch out during the day like a cotton or like a wool would. This really just kind of like keeps that nice ribbed kind of snatched texture. I love that it's got that uneven hemline there. Super cute, size small. And this retailed like $150. It looks like sold comps on these are between like $35 and $45. It's in like flawless condition. This doesn't look like it's ever been worn. And it is one of the good things about this kind of knit. Like, don't get me wrong, like I want cashmere every day of my life, but if you are looking for a sweater that is going to look brand new, no matter how many times you wash it, this knit will do that for you. It also doesn't really wrinkle, so it's something that's really good for travel, but big but on this, it's a heavy textile. So if you are somebody when you are traveling where your suitcase is like always very, very heavy and you're going over and you're having to like rearrange your bags at the gate, viscose knits, tencel, any of those kind of viscose cellulose based fibers are not your friend for traveling. Don't get me wrong, they're great for like the function of them, but they are heavy. So if you are somebody who struggles with like going over the weight limit all the time in your suitcase, maybe leave this kind of stuff behind. Because you don't think about it, but like the weight difference between this and a cashmere sweater is significant. All right, next up. Now I picked this up. Oh my God, I have so much navy blue today. I don't think I realized exactly how much like navy blue minimalist stuff I found today. So I picked this up because it felt really cool. And I mean, like, it feels like a spandex, but it feels like the nicest spandex I've ever felt in my life. So this is just a navy blue kind of cocoon style dress. Like, so it flares out a little bit, but it tucks in there at the end like a cocoon dress, like that really classic kind of like log and look silhouette. And again, this fabric is amazing. Like this has been wadded up in that bag for a couple days and there's not a wrinkle to be seen. So it's got this nice scoop neck. There's like a little gem design here. If you can see the sparkle on that. And then the sleeves are this really pretty mesh. This is very, very minimalist. The brand on this is Indies, which I've never heard of before, but I did a quick search for it and they retail like $200-300. They're definitely European. I don't know if they're sold anywhere in the States, but I mean, with what it is and the style that it is, most of the stuff that they make is a little bit more ornate than this, but this fabric is one of their signatures. That's kind of what I discovered when I was digging through. So I'm interested to see how this does. I mean, have any of you ever found a piece by this brand? Has it sold well for you? Again, there's not much on the resale market, but the quality is just so nice. It's made to be like super washable, super like easy to care for. So I'll get it washed up, I'll get it steamed up, I'll get it listed. It's otherwise in flawless condition. So I'm interested to see how it does. I'm gonna guess probably somewhere maybe $50 to $70. There's not much out there, like I said, but the pieces that I did find were in that range and would not be surprised. Like I said, this has that minimalist, it also has that like log and look kind of silhouette. I love the silhouette of this. Really, really cute. And finally, this was kind of a wild one. Again, one of those things where if you feel something and it feels really nice, just throw it into your basket, check it out later, right? So I was kind of digging through, just rooting through a bin, and I felt this silk and it felt really, really nice. Like it's just, you can tell like a very high quality silk. And then I felt the ribbed cuffs here and I'm like, oh, that's wool, right? So when you have something like this that is fine silk and then the trim work is wool, you're like, okay, so that's probably pretty nice. So I get it back to my little, spot off to the side and I'm digging through. There's no label on it. And when I say that there's no label on it, there's like no trace of a label on it. Now that at first glance, if you're thinking about it, is not necessarily a good thing. However, if there's no trace of a tag on something that's made this nicely, you know that that tag was very delicately placed on. And that's a high-end thing. Right? When you look at like a Gucci piece or you look at like an ultra luxury designer, when you look at their tags, it's usually like a double fold back tag. So it's like a piece of ribbon that's got two pieces on the side kind of folded back, and it's usually tacked by hand very delicately as to not damage the fabric. So it's not necessarily a bad thing when you see something that is made this nicely and you don't see any trace of a label. If anything, that kind of signifies that this is a high-end designer. So I go looking at the internal tag, I see 38, which tells me that it's European. And then I look at the tag and I look a little bit closer and it's Dolce & Gabbana. So this needs to be delicately freshened up. It's obviously very wrinkled. This has been kind of smashed. I want to say that this is like late Y2K style wise, and it probably retailed somewhere between like $2,500 and $3,500. Again, this silk is like so dreamy and it's white and it was in a bin and it's not stained somehow. You always gotta wonder how that happens. I don't think that this was in a store because it didn't have a tag on it. I think this was a raw donation, but I mean, something that somebody probably would have passed by if there was like somebody sourcing in a thrift store that didn't see a tag there. So, don't let that be a deal breaker, especially if you're feeling something that feels like exceptionally well made. I have no idea what I'm gonna get for this. I haven't been able to find this specific top, but similar like silk tops with like ruffle pieces have sold anywhere between like $100 and $450. So somewhere in that mix, I'm not quite sure, but I cannot wait to see what this looks like all freshened up. But that was a real heart pumping moment when I saw that tag in the bins. Whew. But we made it, guys. That is it. That is the enormous haul for today. Thank you guys so much for hanging with me. I know this was a long one. Like I said, I've got about 50 pieces. Value on all of this stuff is about $10,000. I think I've probably got somewhere about $1,500 to $2,000 worth of sales here. It was a great day. It was a fun day. It was so crowded. I hope she's able to come back and go with me again when it's not just like packed. There were so many, you know, it's spring break, so there were so many kids there, which, like, listen, I love seeing kids in the thrift. I absolutely love it. I love that it's super popular again. Like, that makes me happy, kind of coming back from that like conspicuous consumerism of the last 20 years and leaning more into like these vintage styles. That just, like, it makes me happy. But as this is something that I do for work, you know, when they're there and it's super crowded, it does make it a little bit tougher for me to do my job. And typically, if I was thinking, like, I probably wouldn't have even gone. I typically don't go on weekends, for example, because like there's a lot of people who work, you know, Monday through Friday, and that's the only time that they're able to get there. Like, I can go on a Tuesday, I can go on a Thursday. I want those people that work full time, that are shopping for themselves or, you know, doing their side hustle, I want them to have like their own days where they're not dealing with somebody like me who has, you know, the ability to go whenever I want. So had I thought about it, I probably would not have gone, but we did, and I think we found some pretty cool stuff. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. I so appreciate you taking a little bit of your time to hang with me and go through these things and nerd out about some of these finds. I mean, like, Dolce & Gabbana. This will never, ever get old. But guys, if you had fun, please consider leaving a like or comment on this video. Of course, don't forget to hit subscribe. I would love to have you along on this journey. But without further ado, guys, I hope you have the most beautiful week. Happy hunting, and I will see you all in the next one.